over 40% of the world's population is living in water-stressed areas. Each person in a first world country uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water per day, most of which is used when showering and brushing teeth. Showers use about 2 gallons of water per minute, so taking extremely long showers that range from 30 minutes to an hour averages about 60 to 100 gallons of water.
If first world countries cut down time on their showers to 10 to 15 minutes, over 40 to 80 gallons of water is saved and can be used in places that need it. Only turning the water on to rinse the sink after brushing your teeth saves over 5 gallons of water. Saved water could eventually be shipped to countries that really need it, and this would create an even distribution that helps everyone survive.
The average American throws away approximately 185 pounds of plastic per year, and when added together, this is enough plastic to circle the earth 4 times. The chemicals released from burning bottles poses a health risk to consumers and contributes to the breakdown of Earth's ozone layer. On average, Americans use about 50 billion water bottles every year, and only 23% of these plastic water bottles are recycled, meaning 38 billion plastic water bottles are thrown into landfills or become pollution.
We currently recover only 5% of the plastics we produce. 7.4 cubic yards of landfill space is saved for every ton of plastic that is recycled. Recycling can also help reduce the number of plastic water bottles that end up as litter in roadways and water sources. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that the average family can reduce their carbon dioxide emissions by up to 340 pounds annually simply by recycling their plastic waste.
Large amounts of fossil fuels are released into the environment through the process of logging, milling, and transporting the materials that will eventually become paper towels. Paper towels create a large amount of trash that does not get recycled and is often disposed of in a plastic garbage bags headed for landfills. Using paper towels over a 5-year period results in the carbon equivalent of a car traveling about 9,000 miles, which is 3 times greater than that of a hand dryer's, whose carbon equivalent is a little over 3,000 miles.
Electric hand dryers' environmental impact happens while they are in use in the form of energy consumption. But since they only last 30 seconds with each use, the energy consumed is very minimal. Hand dryers are also used less when compared to paper towels because people overuse the towels when drying their hands, while hand dryers are used the one time.
There are 1.2 billion cars in the world today, and each one emits about 4.7 tons of carbon into the air each year. Carbon emissions make up more than 80% of the greenhouse gases emitted. Large cities in the US where it is heavily populated are facing the effects of carbon emissions that pollute the air and make it difficult to breathe, causing lung problems in many people who are surrounded by this.
A vehicle that operates exclusively on electricity will not emit any tailpipe emissions, and some only emit water vapor. 2.5% of the world's cars are battery electric, plug-in hybrid, or fuel cell vehicles that help reduce each person's carbon footprint. These cars are much cleaner and require less fuel to run, which means less carbon emissions and less dependence on fossil fuels.
Many food industries rely on conventional farming, which uses tons of artificial fertilizers and pesticides that contaminate clean water supplies and soil around them. McDonald's kills about 5.5 million cows each year in the US to produce 1 billion pounds of beef to feed Americans. A cow on average releases between 70 to 120 kilograms of methane per year, so raising millions of cattle on these farms is greatly increasing the amount of methane in the environment.
Since organic food production strictly avoids the use of all synthetic chemicals, it does not pose any risk of soil and underground water contamination. By avoiding toxic chemicals and using mixed planting as a natural pest control measure, organic farming provides retreat for local wildlife rather than taking away its natural habitat. Most organically produced food is distributed locally, which means less energy is used for transportation, so carbon dioxide emissions are reduced a good bit.